In less than an hour, the country's 119th Congress will convene with one major task at hand, the election of the House Speaker. And it could be a contentious one. Representative Ed Case joins us now live from Capitol Hill with more. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good morning. Aloha. It's very cold here to start the 119th Congress.
Oh.
We're going to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we get into this new session, can we talk about last session, how you felt about it? There was also a recent report showing that last session was the least productive. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I felt I had a very good last Congress, a two-year Congress. We did a lot of great work, I think, in the delegation in terms of, especially on the Maui disaster recovery, continuing the Red Hill closure, appropriating to the needs that we have here in Hawaii itself, focusing on the Indo-Pacific, meeting the threat of China, a whole range of issues that are both related directly to Hawaii and to our country's presence in the world. And so from my perspective, it was a solid session. It's correct that if you judge it by the continued division and polarization in Congress, which is deeply disappointing. It was a very, very divisive and polarizing Congress, and that led to a lack of actual production of major pieces of legislation that we really need for the country. I wish I could say that's going to get better, but it probably is not. We're probably going to face another divided and polarized Congress, meaning that wherever you can arrive at common sense solutions, pragmatic problem solving, getting things done for both Hawaii and the nation, that's going to be at a premium in a very divided Congress.
Right, you say divided Congress this year, though, for the first time since 2019, it's going to be Republican-led, both House and Senate. So can you tell us a little bit more about your thoughts on that? And also, why is this vote for Speaker Mike Johnson so dramatic? What's the update? What is the update there?
Well, first of all, although it's technically correct that the Republicans will have majorities in both the Senate and the House, it doesn't really work like that in Congress. Both of the Republican caucuses on the Senate and the House side are deeply divided. For the Republicans really to do anything 100%, they'd have to be 100% united in both the House and the Senate to pull it off. They need a supermajority on most votes on the Senate side, more than just a number of Republicans. And so to get anything done at the end of the day, you're going to need bipartisan solutions. You do need Democrats and Republicans that are going to vote together on major pieces of legislation for the country to get those done. Neither party can ram it through this Congress. And so that's why it's so important to continue to look for those opportunities wherever you can. The Speaker of the House is the presiding officer of the U.S. House of Representatives. He or she, and thus far it's been both he and she, have an incredible amount of power to set the agenda, to decide what comes to the floor of the House, to decide what moves out of the House. It's decided by the majority party. My colleagues on the Republican side will decide today whether they can unite behind Speaker Johnson or whether they're going to have a meltdown as they did the last Congress on a number of occasions. I frankly come up with a good, solid result pretty fast because we've got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. Now, earlier you said it's about looking for those opportunities. So tell us, for this new session, what are your priorities?
My priorities are, number one, to continue my service on the Appropriations Committee, which does all federal funding. I'm going to be starting my 7th year on the Appropriations Committee, and so I've got a good, solid, foundation to work from. We have major issues in the country, both on the defense and the non-defense side. We certainly have needs in our Hawaii itself with continuing needs, especially on Maui, but beyond that, both on the defense and the non-defense side, with literally billions of dollars of federal funding to the state every year. That's a critical part of my job, and I've got to continue to devote 100% of my efforts there.
Thank you for listing your agenda. And lastly, we want to know, we heard that there was going to be an event later today. Can you tell us more about that?
We have a really very, very moving event that's happening at the White House at 5 o'clock today that I hope to get to if I'm not still involved in Congress. Private Bruno Orig of Hawaii, local boy born and raised, a child of parents who emigrated from the Philippines, raised in Damon Tract from Ewa at some point in his life, enlisted in the U.S. Army at age 20 at the very beginning of the Korean War, and in 1951 was killed in combat, killed in action under circumstances that demonstrated incredible bravery. He received our second highest medal for valor in our military. And the Secretary of Defense 2 years ago, or actually more like 3 years ago, directed a review because he felt, and I think justly, that certain parts of our population were underrepresented in terms of the award of our highest Medal for Valor, the Medal of Honor. And Private Orig from Hawaii, a local boy, will be receiving the Medal of Honor today from President Biden. And I jokes me up just to talk about it, but it's very, very appropriate. He lies in Punchbowl, and so he's home. But he's going to get our nation's highest medal today.